Morning students, welcome back. Today we are going to learn about our next lesson, lesson 9, community decision making in a tribe. Lesson 9, community decision making in a tribe. First of all, we will learn about tribe. What is a tribe? Different kinds of societies who generally live in forest areas are called tribes. In Telangana, we have tribes such as Chenchus, Kondaredis, Gonds, Koyas, and Savaras. Here we can see some of the pictures of different tribes. To start with our lesson, I would like you to go with our common characteristics of these tribes. They all have different ways of life, different languages, cultures, etc. Let us now see the common characteristics of these tribes. All the tribes, all the members of a tribe consider themselves to be a descendant of the common ancestor. Therefore, all members of a tribe consider themselves to be each other's relatives. They believe that all the resources of the forest are the common wealth of the entire tribe. All the members of a tribe, all the members of the tribes consider themselves to be each other's relatives. They believe that all the resources of the forest are the common wealth of the entire tribe. There are no rich or poor, as everyone has a share in the common resources of the tribe. All the family of the tribe do all kinds of work like cultivation, gathering food, grazing animals, and making baskets, etc. Men have greater power and role in decision making than women. The tribes give a lot of importance to the celebration of festivals and rituals to please the tribal gods and their ancestors. They also have distinct beliefs, customs, songs, dance, arts, and crafts of their own. These are some of the common characteristics of the tribes. Scholars called anthropologists have been studying the tribal people. They live among these tribes and note down the observation about the culture, lifestyle, beliefs, decision making, etc. of the tribe. One such famous scholar who studied the tribes of Telangana was Führer Hemmendorf, who came to Telangana in 1940. He studied the Chenchus, the Kondaredis, and the Gonds and wrote books about them. He also studied several other tribes of India, especially in the northeastern states. Now, we will learn about an important topic about Gond, Panch and Patla. The village headmen derive their authority from the village Panch or the council of adult male householders. This council has the last word in matters concerning the village as a whole, and the headman is its chairman. The village Panch, in a case, represents the Gond society as a whole. The Panch does not meet regularly but only when necessary. Village headman or patla. Every village has a headman or patla who is generally hereditary. He is answerable to the Panch, but in many cases he can be an effective leader. While the Panch meet only once in a while, the headman functions on a daily basis. When the headman becomes arrogant and goes against the wishes of the people, the Panch may remove him and replace him with another person. The other families may just leave the village and settle in new place. Hemmendorf also pointed out that this system was gradually changing even in the 1940s and 50s as the Gond villages were inhabited and by other communities like the Marathas and Telugu, and the modern Panchayati Raj elections began to take place. Many people started going to the police or courts to settle their disputes. Hence, we find very little people in these community decisions. That's all now, students, from this lesson. Hope to see you soon in the next lesson. Bye. Take care.